Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how to create this 2-zip pocket bag. It's not my idea. I saw this on Carol's Cricket Crafts and I thought it was a simple way to put something like this together, so I thought I'd recreate it for my YouTube subscribers. Now, in her original video she used fabric that had no direction on it at all, but in my video I'm going to show you how you need to orientate your fabric so that when you're using a fabric like this that's got a direction for my trees, that everything goes the right way so that your trees don't end up upside down on one of your sides. You need 4 pieces of fabric and 2 zips. You need 2 pieces of fabric that are 20 inches by 10, so that's 1 outer, 1 lining. And then you need 2 pieces of fabric that are 11 by 10, again 1 outer and 1 lining, and 2 zips. And your zips need to be bigger than 10 inches. I only had orange zips and they were about 14 or 16 inches long, so I used those and just cut them down in the video and show you how to do that. But it's a simple project and I just thought I would recreate it and show you how to do it. So you've got an outer piece of fabric that's 20 by 10 and you've got a lining that's 20 by 10. I've ironed some iron-on interfacing onto the wrong side of my outer fabric, although it's not adhered very well here, but it will do when I press it again afterwards. And you've got your fabrics wrong sides together, so this is the right side of my outer fabric and this is the right side of my lining, although it's a plain fabric so it wouldn't make that much difference. Then you need 2 pieces of fabric again that are 11 inches by 10, and again you want 1 outer, 1 inner. Again I've put iron-on interfacing on the outside of my fabric, and you could use a bit of spray adhesive and spray these together if you want. I've got some here, I'll just use a little bit. Just to help hold it maybe in place while it's being sewn together. And the adhesive I'm using is a Crafter's Companion stick and spray for fabric, but you could use anything. So if your fabric is directional, then it's important how you put this together. So for the main piece, the big piece, you need to lay your fabric so it's upside down. So in my case, these are trees and all the trees are going in the wrong direction. You're going to put your zipper face down on top of the right side of your fabric and pin it or clip it. And I've got the zip pull on the right hand side as I'm looking at this with all the trees going in the wrong direction. Don't worry about this here. I cut my fabric the wrong way, so I've had to put a join in it, but that will be hopefully hidden when this all comes together. So just to reiterate, you've got wrong sides of your fabrics together. You've got the fabric upside down effectively if it's directional, and then the zip right side down to the right side of the outer fabric with the pull on the right. Then for your shorter piece, your piece that's 11 by 10, you want this right way up, again wrong sides of fabrics together. Put your zip face down and again have your pull on the right side. Now if your fabric hasn't got any direction, it doesn't matter how you do this. Just put your fabrics wrong side together and make sure you put your zip right side down on top of the outer fabric. But because mine's directional, it makes a difference. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put the smaller piece to one side and I'm going to sew this zip on this piece of fabric. So I've got my zipper foot on. I've got the zip lined up with the outside edge of the fabric and I'm just going to sew straight along. Just take your time, remove your pins or your clips as you go. I'm doing this at a funny angle for the camera, it'll be a lot easier when you're doing it. And don't forget to back tack when you get to the end of the zip. So I'm folding the seam in towards what will be the body of the bag and just finger pressing, and I'm going to top stitch along the edge of that zip. Okay, so that's how it's looking now. So now I'm going to bring the bottom of the fabric up so the right sides are together, and then I'm going to line the fabrics up with the edge of the zip. And again, I'm going to put some clips in. Just to hold it in place, and I like to sew it on the zip side. So now effectively we've got a tube. So I'm going to open the zip. I'm going to turn this fabric down towards the inside of the bag, and I'm going to top stitch along there now, just to match the other side. As I say, I'm probably making this look a lot harder than it is, but it's because my machine's on a funny angle for me to be able to film this for you. So if I close the zip up again now, that's what we've got. We've got a tube with the zip in the middle. So keeping the zipper pull well out of the way, I'm going to fold this so this is about 3 inches from top to zip. So I'm just going to use the grid on this mat, and that's probably about right. So now when you look at this, the trees are in the right direction. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on one side, and now I'm going to sew the zip onto this piece of fabric. Okay, so that's that done. So again, I'm going to fold the raw edges inwards. So this is how we're looking, like this. And I'm going to top stitch. So that's how we're looking, and because we've top stitched, that holds those raw edges out of the way. So I'm just going to trim up my threads. Okay, so now you've got this as your tube. Just get rid of all these threads. And you've got your piece here that's sewn on here. I'm going to put the top of this pocket onto this zip, like so, and I'm going to sew straight along the top here. So I'm just going to clip this on either end just to hold it in place while I pick it up, and bring it into the machine and sew it just as it is. And doing it this way not only sews the zip to this side of the bag, but it acts as the top stitching as well, all in one go. So that's how it's looking now. Now you fold. So now what you need to do is open both your zips, or else you won't be able to turn it inside out. Open them into the middle, or about 3/4 of the way. You're going to bring this fabric over and line this raw edge up with this folded edge, like so. And then sew it all together. Okay, so I've got that held in place, and I'm just going to sew the bottom first. Just take your time because you are going through several layers of fabric. So I'm just going to fold this down and clip it down so that the zip teeth line up. This is just for while I'm sewing it. If you want to put clips or pins in the sides to hold it together, then you can do. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew up the two sides. When you get to where the zipper is, just go backwards and forwards a couple of times just to make sure you've got it all held into place. As I say, take your time because you are going through several layers of fabric. When you get to the second zip, go backwards and forwards and go over that. And then do the same on the other side. So I'm going to cut away the zips. Well, there are a few ways of finishing this now, because obviously you've got raw edges here that are going to be on the inside when we turn it inside out in a minute. So you could just trim up these edges. You could use pinking shears. You could trim the seam allowance a little bit and do a zigzag, or you can serge, whichever way you want to do. I think I'm just going to serge mine. Okay, so I've overlocked the sides of mine, and now it's time to turn it inside out. So I'm just going to put my hand inside and open the zip fully, and then go into the corners and pull it right side out. Push out your corners where your zip is as well. Got some stray threads I'll just get rid of. And then obviously I'd give this a press, but because we took the time to make sure our zips were in the right position at the beginning, all the patterns now run in the right direction. So you've got a zip along the top, and that's all lined obviously and finished off inside. And then you've got a zip on the front that's all lined. This is my iPad mini case. Just see if that will fit inside. And yes, it would, so you could keep your earbuds and things like that in here. You could keep your iPad in it, or just use it for anything really. So give it a good press so that your zip just comes down about 1/2 inch at the top there. But that's it. So I hope you liked the video. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.